Left is good. Right is good. Brakes are good. All locked up and rolling.
Permission to come aboard.
All right, we just finished our checklist we always do after we hook up the minivan. And now we're ready for our next destination, which is another harvest host. It's H Lascombe Winery and Tasting Room. And when we were planning this, it looked like it would be a 4-hour drive day, but it actually turned out to be 5 hours. We made a little mistake. Anyway, more on that later. For now, here we go. Before we get to the winery, let me just share a little bit about how we travel. So normally we like to stay on 4-lane interstates. That way we can go slow and not worry about holding up traffic. So we're not too partial to the 2-lane highways. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. The nice thing about this highway is that when you come to an incline, it becomes 2 lanes on one side. That way the trucks will have their slow lane, including us, and we don't have to worry about holding up traffic. And then once we get to the top, it goes back to a 2-lane. But you know, even if you think you have a well laid out plan and you've got this really nice interstate with 4 wide lanes to go down, you can always plan somewhere along the line there's going to be construction. And I'll be honest, this sort of thing pretty much freaked me out when we first started. But Mark's a great driver, and he's gotten used to it. Another thing we make sure is that we do our stops often. Every hour and a half to 2.5 hours even, we make sure we do some sort of rest stop so Mark can get up and stretch his legs. My daughter is a cardiac intensive care unit nurse, and she made us promise as we're traveling that we'll stop often just to get Mark's circulation going. And because this ended up being such a long drive day for us, 5 hours, we decided to make a second stop. This time we stopped for lunch. So there was one more thing before we got to the winery, and that was the inspection station in New Mexico. It's a U.S. Border Patrol checkpoint.
Thank you.
They took one look at Mark and realized he didn't have the energy to store even one extra apple. So it was pretty painless.
In 500 feet, arrive at DH Lescombes Winery and Tasting Room.
Continue on New Mexico 549 East for 1
mile. So as you can see at this harvest host, there is no problem parking a big rig. Right, we are on our way to a tasting room. Actually, we're doing a harvest host right now, and you can hear our generator is running because we're in New Mexico and it is really warm here. We are at H Lascombe Winery and Tasting Room. So one thing I want to point out is when we were Googling and trying to find our direction here, don't confuse when you go to Google putting in Lescombes Winery and Bistro, because that's what we did first. And we looked at the satellite, and it was like in a shopping area. And we're like, where do we park there? Yeah. Then I went online and I saw, oh, no, it's Lescombes Winery and Tasting Room. Let's start walking. So we want
to... So let's rotate real slow.
Okay.
Now, obviously, it's October 21st right now. And so, you know, we're out of season. Otherwise, you could tell this place would be packed because this gravel that we're on is so well maintained. It looks like they even have a steamroller that goes over here. But what we're going to show you a little bit later is we're going to show you an area where everybody can sit and they have bands and things at night.
Yeah.
Really cool. One of the things we're doing for the first time here, we're going to leave our generator on while we're leaving. We're going to leave both of our air conditioners operating. We would probably leave 3 of them on, except our third one doesn't work. We're going to leave it so that right around the time that the sun goes down, we'll probably turn it off. It looks like it's going to be about between in the 50s and then dip down to about high 40s tonight, which will be really good.
It'll be comfortable.
But I'm thinking it's pushing almost 80 now.
It is, yeah. But look at how big this is. We've got 2 other RVs that are here with us at this Harvest Host. I think that's kind of a first.
So let's.
Lately, it's been just us.
So typically it's a Harvest Host is free, and if you want to be that kind of person, you could just park here and hide out in your place and save money. I guess that's not how we're going to operate. We're going to operate where we're going to be thankful for places like this existing, and then we're going to, we don't care if we end up spending the $41.73 average that we end up spending on our daily stays now. To be in such a quiet, unique place like this, we will gladly spend the same amount and leave with a bottle or 2 of wine. We're going to have some burgers in their cafe here.
So it's kind of like a date night.
It's date night.
We haven't had that for a while.
Yeah, and I still love her after how many years, honey? 12 years? 12
years now, yeah. All right, let's find our way around the fence here.
Okay.
So we're doing 12 stops in 19 days from Wisconsin to California, and this is actually our 8th stop. So we started from White City RV Park and made our way over to the winery, which was formerly named St. Clair Winery. They just recently changed the name. But you can see over here that it actually shows how many hours and how many miles we're going to cover to get to the winery. And the way we found this winery is we went on to Harvest Host, and they've got an awesome website. And the thing that's real important for us when we're looking is how big of a rig will it fit. A lot of them don't fit big rigs like ours, and it also tells you how many spaces are available. The website also shows what kind of amenities they offer. Like here, we have a tasting room, a gift shop. There's also a tour, but that's not going on. It also shows location, and I'm thinking we probably should have looked at this before we plugged into our GPS. The Lescombes family acquired the St. Clair Winery almost 40 years ago, but in 2019 they changed the name to H Lascombe to honor the Lescombes heritage. Oh, excellent, my dear. Here on a Wednesday afternoon, you can see it's a slow day. Lucky for us. This is the owner and his sons. They are the 6th generation of French winemakers. The Lescombes family has been making wine in New Mexico since 1981 when they immigrated from France to New Mexico.
Maybe we should buy a pair of these.
Yeah, for what?
I mean,
oh my gosh,
those would be good hiking shoes for when you're in the cavern.
Yeah, you know what they'd be good for. Jerry could tell you that.
How'd you like to have this in your pantry in the rig? You'd have to put that in the basement.
So as you can see, they also serve food here. Always a good idea when you're drinking. So we decided on what 6 wines we wanted to taste, but we thought it'd be a good idea to first get our cheeseburgers. So we grabbed those and went outside to enjoy the day.
All right,
There you go.
got it?
Got it.
Take our little table over here.
Yeah, let's find a nice place in the shade. You can see they've got it all spread out here. And they actually do have live music from what I've read on reviews. So it's spread out as it is. Look at all that room. You can bring your lawn chair, enjoy some wine, some music.
Got shade here.
Yes, plenty of shade in this
And
New
I'm
Mexico
taking my
heat.
mask off to eat.
Excellent, my love.
And sanitizer.
Nice one, hon.
Alright.
So here's our cheeseburger.
Yep.
So as we're finishing up on our cheeseburgers, our server started bringing our wines out. Oh my gosh, Mark's drinking my wine.
I thought this was a picture.
Well, fake it. Don't drink all of it, Marco.
Did you notice how that automatically? Well,
Your pinky goes. Can't help it.
that's because I'm such a classy guy.
You are classy. So as the evening went on, there were other couples that showed up and social distanced with us, enjoying the wine also. Along with the wine, there's a beautiful sunset. Good morning. So it looks like we might have had another rig pull in. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. We are 4. So you can see this is a really big area. The part in the back where we are, that's all gravel. The part closer to us looks like they're getting it ready. They did talk about how this is a newer parking area. And when we had some wine and our burgers last night, the guy that was working with us actually said that at one point this summer they had 17 Harvest Host rigs parked here. So online it says they can take up to 4, but I think since they added this area back here, yeah, they're getting a lot more in. 17 Harvest Hosts. And we said RVs, he said they were all Harvest Host. Pretty nice. These buildings in the back is where they do all their bottling. They said they've got all their oak barrels back there sitting for months and months, getting it filled with flavor. They did say too that in a year they'll usually ship out 165,000 cases of wine all over. So on Friday evenings they usually have live music. And pre-COVID, they would do it on the stage back there. But now they do it more over by the tasting room. And they do keep the crowd smaller. But can you imagine how beautiful this is on a beautiful evening? We've got these lamps, nice glow under the trees. Just hear the birds. Oh, yeah.
Miles and miles in the clear blue sky. We drive straight as a narrow flies. Nowhere to be.
Look at that view.
Chase the night.
Just gotta turn around and take a look.
Got time to waste. Let's waste it right.
Hey, what you looking at, mister?
I thought I was going to be really clever and fly to old Jim Drone through one of the knot holes that was over there, but then I saw that the fence actually got short enough for me to look.
Actually on the ground here.
Well, what I did is, I don't know what time it is. It's
About 10:30.
10:30 New Mexico time. There's 25 cars, employee parking lot cars, at least 25. I might lose track of a couple of them behind this building. That's a lot. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. And like you did say, it's they bottled last year. They bottled 165,000 cases. Right. So when we came to the DH Lescombes vineyard, we did not know where to drive, where to park, but we came in through where those pillars are, and we drove in and we immediately turned to the right and we came into this secondary parking lot, and we did a turn and we parked and positioned where we're shown. Now what we didn't know is that was a genius move, and this is a pro tip for you if you come to this place. The people that are right here drove through the same, but they came through this depth and they took this sharp turn and they parked. There was multiple people on the right hand side here, multiple people on the left hand side. You'll notice that there's those big giant lights, and in fact there's security lighting that was lit up over here. And when I got up in the middle of the night, because I was checking our batteries, because I ran quite a few things last night, I was doing some backups for YouTube. It was really bright here, and we were like in darkness over there. When Sue woke up in the morning, the sunrise is from that side, and sneaking through those trees, it was just beautiful. So if you come here, park as far as you can to the east, because the sun rises in the east, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's
very good, huh?
Yes! Yes! Pro tips from the Chan Man.